So you've been through level 1 and you've been using the stationary fashion. Hopefully you were able to load up and get pretty aggressive with that. Now what we're going to go ahead and do this week is we're going to go ahead and integrate it. Or excuse me, we're going to add mobility into the exercise. Now why do we want to add mobility? Well, what that's going to do is it's going to allow us to start bringing in our core, specifically our hips, into the movement. So we're going to be able to generate more power. So now, if you struggle with upper body exercises in that you're not very strong in your upper body, this is going to be a great way to use your hips to feed your upper body to get it stronger. So this is a great way to go ahead and do all these same exercises: a chest press, row, shoulder press, high pull, bicep curl, and tricep press, by going ahead and integrating your hips. So we're going to go ahead now, instead of doing a chest press, we're going to do a squat press. Instead of a row, we're going to do a squat row. Instead of a shoulder press, we're going to go ahead and do a squat press. Instead of a high pull, we're going to do a hip hinge or a hip extension pull. Instead of a bicep curl, we're going to add a little bit of hip extension, hip extension into the exercise so you can start generating force through your hips. And then the last tricep exercise, same thing. We're going to add a little bit of backward extension so you can load your trunk and really create great force through your trunk to help your triceps. So there you go. This week, it's time for mobility, and we're going to bring in mobility to see how you go ahead and tolerate that. Let's get ready to go. Oh, and by the way, if you have a difficult time controlling or bringing in the mobility with the upper body exercise, bring your resistance down, go a little slower, and start bringing it in so you get your timing down. It's real important that you get your mobility timing with the upper body movement. Hey, have a great time with it. I'll see you next week, and we'll go ahead and bring it back into fully integrated. It's mobility day today. It's time to get your hips and your lower body a little bit involved with your upper body exercises. So we're going to add in a little squat or a little split squat with all your upper body exercises that we showed you last week. I hope you're ready to go. I'm ready to go. Let's knock this out. All right, let's go ahead. We're going chest press first. All right, remember, you're going to do 50 reps of all these exercises before you move on to the next exercise. That's the rule. That's the 300 challenge that we always talk about. So let's go ahead. Let's look at it. Hey, squat press. All right, drop it down, get into a nice squat, come up pushing. Guys, this is going to be a tough exercise because you got to really be trunk tight when you get up here. Drop in your squat, come up pushing. Make sure you lock out tight. You're going to lean a little bit as you do it. If you don't want to go parallel stance with a squat, you can go split squat by dropping down, coming out pushing. Now, little tip, if the band is rubbing on your arms, take it, slide it down, get it a little bit lower so that as you go into it, see how the band is still in good position, it's not rubbing on my arms? Now when I come up pushing, I can go right there, still not rubbing on my arms. Make sure you adjust that. So that's a squat chest press or a split squat chest press. Now let's look at rowing, all right? Simple here, go into a big row. Tip here, make sure the band is pulling you into a good full position. So when you come up pulling, you're really getting a great stretch right there, loading muscle and coming on up. You want to go into a split stance, drop down, come up pulling, drop down, come up pulling, drop down, come up pulling. Guys, awesome way to go ahead and increase the metabolic workload of your workout, especially upper body training, is by adding in mobility. Here's a key thing. Notice, I always am pulling or pushing as I'm coming out of the squat or out of the split squat. That's important. You're going to notice a lot of people want to reverse that as they do it. Let's go to press, all right? We stand on the band. We make sure the band is loose between our feet. By letting the band be loose and just wiggling our feet and getting it nice and set, we come on up. All right, simple squat, overhead press. Notice again, I press as I come out of my squat. I press as I come out of my squat, all right? Now, can you do it in a split squat stance? Yes, you can, but you got to put the band on the front leg. Once again, loaded here, drop down, press overhead. Now the angle is going to pull you forward a little bit. It's a little bit tougher to get back here. So when you come back down, it's going to be a front load and pull up. I think you're going to find the parallel stance is better. It's going to work a little bit better for you if you go with the parallel stance. Let's go on to exercise number 4. That's the high pull. The high pull, it's going to be really important that you get the band nice and loose, all right, between your feet. All right, here's my suggestion. Take the band if you can, since you got a little time in between sets, hook it around your foot. Now that's going to shorten your band, but what it's going to do is allow you to drop your hips into a squat, and I still got tension as I pull up. All right, so I'm loaded here, squat and pull. Bang, drop down, squat and pull. Drop down, squat and pull. Because I shortened the band a little bit by wrapping it around my foot, I was able to go ahead and create that squat and still have resistance all the way through the range of motion. It's real important that you do that. There is no staggered variation for that. You got to go parallel stance with that. Bicep curl, all right? Very easy. We're going to go squat. We're going to reach way back, get good loaded, and we're going to come through. Bang, squeeze it, bang, squeeze it, bang, squeeze it. There's your squat. Could you do it in a staggered stance? Absolutely. Drop down, balance, come up pulling. Balance, come up pulling. What you're going to notice with the bicep curl and the split stance, really going to challenge your balance. So be ready. You're going to really need a lot more core stability with that. Tricep press, all right? Step back. So I like to start here. I'm gonna go back into this position. I'm gonna stagger my stance. I'm just gonna rock back and press forward. Rock back, press forward. This is the mobility part of it. I'm rocking my weight from my front foot back to my back foot, explode through. Front foot, bang. That's what we're doing, all right? So again, make sure you interchange legs on that. There's your mobility exercises for this week. Now it's your turn. 50 reps each exercise. Get complete 50 reps, move on to the next exercise. I'm telling you right now, you're going to get cooked and your trunk is going to get rocked with these mobility exercises.